Tina Turtle put a cap in his ass. She said, "Grrrra, ba, ba, ba." What's up, y'all? It is your boy Dwight, aka Tyree, aka Dwight Tyree, and I am back with a new video. Today is going to be a little different. I wanted to talk about the Jacksons. As you guys know, I saw the Michael movie and I talked about it in the last video, so if you did not see that, definitely check that video out. But today I just wanted to talk about some of the Jackson drama, the Jackson family life, and the things about the Jacksons in general that we don't really know about. As you guys know, the height of the Jacksons' career was in the 90s, 80s, 70s, and in this time, 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, we didn't really have like social media like now. There was no shade room, there was no neighborhood talk, there was none of these kind of outlets. So back then, there were magazines and things of that nature. So I just wanted to talk about some of the stuff that went on with the Jackson family that you might not have known, alright? So we're going to call this some facts about the Jacksons. LaToya Jackson. We're going to start off with LaToya Jackson. So a lot of you guys may not know, but LaToya Jackson was married to a man named Jack Gordon from 1989 to 1997. So if you're on TikTok and you've been looking up the Jacksons, you may actually see a lot of clips of LaToya Jackson in the 90s saying things about her family, right? So it has a lot to do with this relationship, the reason why she was saying all these things. So over the years, she had described the relationship with Jack Gordon as in a controlling and an abusive relationship. So Jack Gordon, during the time, he allegedly was physically abusing and verbally abusing LaToya, which made her feel like she needed to, which made her feel like she had to listen to what he was saying. So he wanted her to talk about her family and things of that nature, and she says she felt like he would kill Mike or Janet or even her if she didn't comply to what he wanted her to do. So this man allegedly was a person that has killed people, and she's known about it and all of these things, but she was so afraid when she was in this relationship with this man. So yeah, there have been, like I said, allegations of this abuse in their relationship. But he did die, so I guess now, he died a long time ago. But after he died, she did express that she felt safer. But unfortunately, LaToya spent most of the 90s in that relationship. And she kind of basically was separated away from her family when she got with this guy. She did talk about moving out of her home when she was later on. So LaToya and Michael were the last two siblings to live in a family house together. So she moved out late. She wasn't the youngest child. Janet moved out before her. So she was, I believe, in her early 30s when she moved out, and then she kind of got with this guy, and that's kind of when things got crazy and hectic. So yes, LaToya now, she's safe now. Her and her family are very close again. She did make crazy allegations during this time because of this guy allegedly. She said things about Michael Jackson's sexuality. She spoke about allegedly that Joe Jackson was sexually abusive. We know he was physically abusive, but the sexual abuse was crazy for, to hear that. And then, she even talked about her mother and how she allowed these things to happen. So she spoke about different things that would have really ruined her family's image. But I guess she was scared for her life and their life, and she felt like that's what she had to do. So now, LaToya is in close relationship with her family members. She was at the Michael premiere. She recently was seen having Sunday dinner with Jermaine and Randy. Her and Janet, we've seen them together throughout the years since, the 90s, since after the 90s. So I believe her and her family are close now. It seems like they buried that, hopefully, but it was just a wild time. If you have not seen that, definitely look up LaToya Jackson's interviews in the 90s, and she says some things that are off the chain. I believe she even came out with a book about her family as well. I wouldn't read it because I don't believe 90% of it is true, but who knows. Moving on, let's see. Another thing is, let's talk about the Jackson family tree. If you don't know, the Jackson family tree is kind of crazy between two specific people that brought the craziness. So Randy Jackson and Jermaine Jackson, as we know, they are brothers, right? But what y'all didn't know is that they share a baby mama. Yup. They share a baby mama, Jermaine and Randy, which is crazy to me. So Jafar Jackson, who was playing Michael in the Michael movie, actually is Jermaine's child. However, he does have siblings from Randy, if that makes sense. So, Jafar's mom was dating Randy Jackson first, and she had children. Let me give my family tree out so I can really get into this with y'all. So first things first, her name is Alejandra Jackson. I'm not sure if she's still with either one of these guys. I don't think so. She's not with either one of these guys. She had her kids and left. On her part, I guess it was like, in her part, sure, it probably looks good for her because she left with these kids and, that's child support for like 5 kids. You got 2 different baby daddies in the Jacksons, and now one of your kids is playing Michael Jackson in the biggest movie of the year. Alejandra, she did her big one. She laid on that back and did her big one. But let's get into this chart. So we have Randy Jackson. She has Genevieve Jackson, which is her only daughter with the Jacksons. And then she has Randy Jackson Jr. All right, real calm, real cool. And then moving on, we have Dante Jackson, Jafar Jackson, as we all know, and Your Majesty Jackson. I don't know where they were going with that name, but I medium like it. So 5 kids altogether, 2 with Randy, then she had 3 with Jermaine. So I just wonder how things went down in the family during this time. Like, how was Thanksgiving? You was here with me last year with our newborn. Now you pregnant with my brother's baby. Like, what made her do that? And then it's just weird. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But I feel like out of all of this, the person to blame is Jermaine. Because if that is your brother, why would you date his ex? It's not even just like that's his ex. That's his ex that he has kids with. So it's like, and then you went and had kids with her too. And now they're brother cousins and sister cousins. They're cousins and siblings at the same time. Like, what is going on here? What is going on? Like, how do you explain that to people? I would have been embarrassed. Anywho, speaking of names, because I still can't believe his name is Your Majesty, but I also want to talk about the Jacksons' real names. Most of the Jacksons, what we call them is not their birth names. Michael, Janet, Marlon, LaToya, those are their real names. But then we have Tito Jackson. Tito Jackson's real name is Toriano. Toriano, where did Tito come from? And then we have Jackie Jackson, whose real name is Sigmund Esco. Like Escobar? Where did Sigmund Esco come from? But allegedly their grandfather used to call him Jackie, I guess because of their last name, Jackson, so their grandfather called him Jackie. I don't think the grandfather could have said that name. That was a little too much for him, like Sigmund. No, Sigmund's not too crazy, but I guess maybe he liked Jackie better, but I guess it's stuck. Jackie Jackson. So that's what we know him as. And then we have Rebe Jackson, who is the eldest child, and her real name is Maureen Rillette. So I guess Rebe is kind of like the middle name, I guess they're going off of. And that is not even the only person. We also have Randy Jackson, whose real name is Stephen Randall Jackson. Speaking of Randy Jackson, this is the last little thing I'll tell you about the Jacksons that I found out when I was on my deep dive. So, Randy Jackson got shot by Tina Turner. Tina Turner put a cap in his ass. She said, "Grrrr, ba, ba, ba." She doing her. She is ghetto. I'm playing. Tina Turner's not ghetto. But Tina Turner, first of all, hold on. Let me find out what year did she shoot him. Okay, so Tina Turner shot Randy Jackson in the 80s. Randy was dating a woman named Bernadette Swan, and Bernadette was running from him because of his temper. Allegedly, Randy Jackson was abusive. So that also makes me think Joe Jackson was, never mind. We ain't gonna get into him. But Randy Jackson was allegedly abusive to Bernadette, and she was cool with Tina Turner. So Tina Turner, when he broke into Tina Turner's house trying to get her, and Tina Turner shot him. And later on, he did confirm. He said that Tina Turner shot him, and he has the scar still to this day to prove it. And you know, a lot of people were surprised because you know a lot of people think of Tina Turner and the Ike situation, but this was the '80s. Her and Ike were no longer together. Tina Turner was fed up. I guess she was not with the BS no more. She said, "I am not anime. I'm Tina Turner." And in the '80s, she was not with it, so she definitely busted cap on his ass. And I feel like if he was acting like that, then Tina did what she had to do. She had to protect herself. But that is crazy to me because I never heard about that until like this month. And I'm like, what? Tina Turner was shooting? She was a shooter? Tina! Tina Turner. But that's all the Jackson information I have for y'all today. I could go on and on, but I don't want this video to be too long. Maybe I'll do a part 2 at another point. We'll see. But, you know, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know, guys, if there's something that you also heard about that I didn't mention. Let me know about how you feel about the information I said. Like, you know, feel free to comment and share. And I'm going to give you guys a song of the week. The song of the week today is going to be Butterflies by Michael Jackson. I'm still in my Michael Jackson flow. And I saw something on Instagram that was asking, like, what's your favorite Michael Jackson song? And I put She's Out of My Life, which is one of my favorites, but today I like Butterflies a little more. Not my favorite Michael song, but my favorite R&B Michael. But, alright, y'all. Peace out.